You saw the title, you already know what this video is about. Today I'll be going through all the new Christmas maps in Evade, what the aesthetics are, my personal feelings about them, and how to beat the next bots in these maps. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's start off with Festive Factory. This is a map that depicts Christmas Eve in the factory of the elves, where they're working overtime to produce toys for Santa to deliver for Christmas. It seems that Santa is evil in this dimension, as the elves are falling behind without much support from Santa themselves. Talking about the map, it is tight. The only room that is spacious is the main room with all the conveyor belts. As well, tons of posters that suggest Santa is not that good of a person at all. Talking about gameplay, the map is extremely claustrophobic, meaning that you need to rely more on hearing to detect the next bots on this map. There are also very little dead ends, decreasing the difficulty of the map along with it. Overall, Festive Factory is a solid addition to the Christmas update. There's not much to say here, it doesn't impress, but it gets the job done. And yeah, I'm giving this a B. Let's now talk about the next map that has a similar name to the first, Festive Gathering. This time, it takes place in a small neighborhood celebrating Christmas, with a Christmas tree in the middle. As with Evade maps, there are references to other games here, like the Z from Tower Battles. Unlike Festive Factory, this map is much more spacious, with just one main area and almost no corridors. There's also a lot of cool ramps around the map, encouraging the use of tripping, which is something that I wish I saw more in other maps in Evade. Anyways, these buildings also feature a second floor with a lot of tables, and you can actually clip into the roof provided you have enough speed. Overall, this map is great. I love how open and spacious it is, the future lighting, the references, and the simplicity of it all makes it even better. I'm giving this a B+. FRIGID Power Plant is a normal map that gives off a very industrial feel compared to the other maps. It is probably the least Christmas-like map in the game, showcasing barely any Christmas decorations compared to the rest of the other maps. This map more accurately represents a car park during Christmas, and the many buildings that surround it. One side of the map features a nuclear power plant, and the other side of the map represents an office block with a cafeteria inside. Gameplay-wise, the map is incredibly spacious and large, and due to the lack of obstacles around the map. I like how the cars and trucks around the map are strategically placed to help the players get up to better locations. Overall, this map is one of my favorites, and I hope it stays after the Christmas event is over. I'm giving this a B+. Frosty Summit is a game that takes place in the cold icy mountains. This is one of the most visually stunning maps in the game, easily. There are two buildings on these mountains. The first building is Santa's very own home, that features his sleigh, his study room, and loads of Christmas decorations. The second building is a factory that produces the gifts. In order to get to one side or another, there are multiple train tracks running across these two mountains that you're able to access, as well as an underground mining section to get you from the train tracks to the surface. Overall, this map is incredibly beautiful and executed to perfection. The nice lighting, the great gameplay, the Christmas themes, it's all too perfect for me, man. I'm giving this an A+, and applause to these three for making it. It was perfect for the event. Lakeside Cabin is a hard map that takes place inside of a huge cabin by the lake that's in the middle of celebrating Christmas. Despite most of the map being indoors, the cabin is super spacious and allows for a lot more mobility in its corridors compared to a map like Festive Factory. Anyways, the outside is also much larger than it looks. You can walk around the many icebergs that are around the lake without taking any damage. The turkey inside the dining hall is also absurdly large. Lakeside Cabin is a fun map to play with a simple layout that works to its strengths. I'm giving this a B. Prague Square is one of the few maps in this list that doesn't celebrate Christmas, but New Year's. Still, there's quite a lot of Christmas decorations around the map. The map's architecture very faithfully resembles Prague in the real world, with its buildings, tiles, and structure. Anyways, this map is super spacious, with only the clutter around the middle part of the map to stop you from getting away from next spots. The layout is also overly simplistic. This map is basically just a circle when you boil it down to the fundamentals. There's also a bunch of shops nearby that you can hide into, but they don't provide any escape routes, making them a bad idea. Anyways, I think this map is a decent addition to the game, but it's personally filler for me. It doesn't wow me, and I think it's rather weak compared to the other maps, but overall, it's kinda enjoyable. I'm giving this a C+. Mountain College is a map that I find perplexing. This map actively restricts you from going into the rougher areas of the map, with you restricted to only the walkways. Now, this increases the difficulty of the game, but adds another element of fun as your movement is more restricted compared to the other maps, which I think is a nice change. There's also an elaborate underground area in the bottom of the college that gives you more room to run around with. But if you look at the bigger picture, Mountain College is just decent. It lacks behind individual quality compared to the other maps, and is just decent in gameplay. I'm going to give this a C. CLIFFSHIRE is a hard map that shows a small town hanging onto the cliffs. This map is mostly covered by snow now and is quite small compared to a lot of the other maps in the game. The decoration of the map is also pretty one-dimensional, featuring a few Christmas decorations as well as bright windows to give more life to the map. The use of these dolls is also an alright addition. But what I like most about this map is there are plenty of alternative and small walkways around the maps that are subtle. They give a bit more complexity to an otherwise simplistic layout. A good map, but nothing much other than that. I'm giving this a B. Winter Palace takes a more medieval aesthetic to the map. This map is mostly comprised of a castle that has a square layout with a very chaotic middle part with tons of Christmas decorations. The best way to play this map is to easily hang around the second floor of the castle. They offer you easy escape points against next bots while being pretty easy to access. Honestly, this map outdoes itself on its Christmas decorations. Some maps here do the map minimum, but personally I think Winter Palace goes above and beyond, and all of this is in full display at the middle too. The layout is also really intricate and most importantly fun to play with. This is a great map, no questions asked. I think it deserves an A. NEMO'S Rest is the last Christmas map added to the game. Honestly, it has a weird identity to me. It takes on a more industrial feel with the crates, but it also houses at the side too. I think the best aspect of the map is the unorganized clutter scattered throughout the map, giving an extremely volatile feel to the map that is not really shown in many of the other maps shown in this update. I felt like this map would have been much better if it was larger and expanded more on its ideas to really hone in on the chaotic feel of the map. The Christmas decorations throughout are also not anything too special. Personally, I will give this a B. There are also a couple extra normal maps that saddle into this update in the sidelines. KYOTO is the first Japanese inspired map in Invade and has a completely different feel than all the other maps. First of all, the map is extremely dark compared to the other maps. Night vision pretty much is a necessity in this map. The layout on here is also extremely complex, with many paths, walls, corridors, pathways, and all kinds of things that you need to go through. Also, in classic Invade fashion, there are a couple of memes sneaked into the map. Overall, KYOTO, in my opinion, is a very fun map to play, and this Japanese-inspired map puts a new and unique take on Invade. I'm giving this a B+. MAYDAY, in my opinion, is the epitome of wasted potential. MAYDAY depicts a plane crash on a swampy area in the middle of nowhere, with a camping spot too. The biggest problem with MAYDAY is that the map is too small, and many of its cool ideas could have been expanded upon. I constantly find myself running into the edge of this map very easily, and it's a shame considering how good the decoration on the map really is. I think it personally has the best decoration in its entire Christmas update, but its ideas are just not fleshed out enough and expanded upon to be enjoyable. I'm giving this a C+. In my opinion, the Christmas maps here were slightly weaker than the Halloween maps. Most of the Halloween maps had more fleshed out ideas, all of them were incredibly solid and made with much better execution than the majority of the Christmas maps. But I think that a few of the Christmas maps are amazing and honestly beat the Halloween maps by a long mile. Frozen Summit is my favorite map for all events so far, and Winter Palace definitely is top 5. Well, but what I can say is that Christmas maps have higher peaks, but the Halloween maps are much more consistent. And yeah, I will leave it at that. Thank you all for watching, and if you want to see another Evade video, I recommend checking out my full guide to Evade Part 2. It's 30 minutes long, bro. It's basically a documentary. And yeah, see you soon. I know what a lot of y'all think, bro, where's Brutalist Void, man? You didn't even talk about Brutalist Void, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? And honestly, I'm half convinced that that map doesn't exist, because I legit spent 2 days of my life searching through a VIP server, just trying to go through, find Brutalist Void, and I still haven't found it, bro. So I just went ahead and made the video. Oh my god, what the hell is this game mode? There's so many bulls coming after me. Anyway, 16-minute long video coming soon. Be sure to stick out for that. And yeah, I think I hit 8 minutes already.